So I want to talk about something that we're all probably thinking potentially, or at least some of us are thinking as funeral service practitioners, and that is the impression of our field and our profession when things go sideways and you see a bad article, a bad news story come out about a firm. And oftentimes it seems to have to do with mishandling or misidentification. And I feel like, it's 2025. Like, there are a lot of resources and things available now to avoid that, right? So it's kind of infuriating because it makes all of us look bad as practitioners, right? And I was thinking about this and I was like, well, a lot of responsibility, I know we kind of revert back to the regulatory agencies and say, well, we have regulatory agencies and that's their job, is to check these places out. But it really is our job to be policing our own businesses, right? And I wanted to talk about that and just kind of maybe be uncomfortable in owning that. So do you have a culture, for example, that has if you see something, say something, like mentality or belief system? Like, do people feel like they can speak up if something's going sideways without in some way being like penalized for it, right? Because that's one of the things. And are you approachable as a leader to where they feel like they can come and talk to you? If you manage multiple locations, do your frontline leaders have that relationship with your team? Are you going through your spaces randomly and just checking things out? And again, if you're managing multiple locations, are your frontline managers doing that? Are you going into the crematory and checking things out, or the embalming room? Are you approaching your building like an unauthorized person and saying, how hard is it for me to get in and get access to HIPAA information or even the decedents themselves? I'm just going to practice. I'm going to walk in here and I'm going to see how secure my building actually is. Okay, there are things we can be doing from the inside. Do you have processes? And if you do, is everyone trained on these processes? And do you take pride in the fact that you have processes? If I'm meeting with a family, I'm going to reassure them we have a process in place so that once we receive your mom or your loved one into our care, we know exactly where they are going to be within the building from start to finish, and they will be properly placed so that they're in a protected, secure area up until the disposition itself, right? Are we talking about these things? And then as funeral homes, are we telling the communities what we're doing well, and are we involved in them and with them in such a way that we're familiar with them? So are we hosting events, or are we putting out something besides obituaries on our social media? Do they know that we are a resource to them for other things besides pre-need and obituaries? Because we are, and we can be, and we can establish a relationship with them before they have to call us. So I feel like it's our responsibility, in addition to the oversight, to just maintain standards and make sure that we are creating that expectation within our firms, small or large. And I think making an assumption about an ethical place that people are coming from is dangerous. And the reason for that is there is a lot involved in a person's morals, their ethical standards and behaviors. And it's not just, here are the rules, follow them. There are inherent belief systems that are created and cultivated over time and growth. And so if you assume that everyone thinks like you and that everyone's going to know right from wrong in the same manner that you do, then you're probably mistaken there as well. And so we need to do something collectively as a group, as a profession, to stop seeing all the negative, bad, terrible incidences that make it in front of everyone through the news. Videos of people walking right into a funeral home and having access to loved ones, like that stuff can't be happening. And I feel like we had opportunity during COVID to learn a lot of things about handling and about what to do in an event where, like, maybe your building is compromised, you don't have power, whatever it is, right? And then, of course, your staff, you do your best to vet your staff, you document that you're doing your best to vet your staff. So I think there's things we can be doing at our level. And I encourage you, if you're doing good things, like look at Final Salute, the unclaimed program that Lene Strovers heads up that takes care of cremated remains of veterans, children, individuals. Look at all the beautiful coverage that got, right? And that was something that she worked with others to put that together, and she worked within her community to put that together. And that's just one example of something that we're doing right. So speak up about the things that we are doing right. Like, let's talk about this, and let's be accountable for the way we're operating and for the people that we're hiring that represent us and for the care that we're providing. And let's just kind of get a little more active with this instead of just passively seeing these crap articles come out where people are not doing what they're supposed to be, and it throws mud on the rest of us, on our faces. I think we can do things a little bit better. So let's just do it already. Let's get out there and do it already. You know, be responsible for your locations. Don't make assumptions, and cultivate that culture of if you see something wrong, say something. And if you see something that could be done better within your location, regardless of your position, are you sharing that with your leadership? Leadership, are you open to that? Like, I don't know. I get really infuriated when I see these things because I know that there are so many people out there doing good work and so many authentic, caring individuals that are in our field. And I just feel like they're the ones that I want to see in the news, and what they're doing is what should be setting precedents and be the norm. And I know that for the most part it is, but can we please just be a little louder about the things we're doing right? And so I implore you to consider that. Of course, I do consulting if you need help putting some of this stuff together in your firm, but I just implore you to take an active role in this and just kind of think about it. Thank you.